Hi everyone, welcome back to another Scrap 5 challenge. On the screen right now, you're looking at the 5 items we're all going to be using on our layouts today. So if you're already a subscriber to my channel, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another one of my videos. And if you're brand new today, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Don't forget, hit the notification bell so you'll know once I upload new videos. Right now, I am crossing off the very first item on my Scrap 5 challenge list, which would be to use a 4x4 photo, and that would be the photo of myself and my grandson. Now, I will go ahead and link all of the other ladies who's participating today down in my description box, along with all of the items that I used on this layout. So be sure to check out my description box for all of that information. So here I'm going to cross off a second item, which would be to use a geometric shape. And I use that pattern paper with all of those triangles on there. I am also going to be able to cross off cut files because it says use either cut files or dies, and I'm using the heart dies from Lawn Fawn. So at first I was going to use this as a border, a strip straight across the middle of my cardstock, and that is some basil cardstock I'm using. I believe the color I'm using is Admiral Blue, and I was going to use that pattern paper as a strip across the center of the cardstock, but I decided instead to go ahead and cut out 3 triangles like I'm doing right now, and I'll go ahead and add those to the background. Once I like where they are, I'm gonna go ahead and adhere those pieces to that cardstock. So right away I have 3 of my items already on my layout, and there's just 2 more to go. Now I really do enjoy doing these Scrap 5 challenges. I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos, and please go ahead and feel free to take part and do the challenge yourself. If you do, be sure to let us know in the comments where we can find your layouts. If you do add it to Instagram, you can go ahead and tag us there. You can use the hashtag scrap5, and I will leave that information as well in the description box. So here I know I needed a pop of color, so I went ahead and decided to use that orange pattern paper. Once I flipped over this pattern paper, I saw the yellow. I decided to go ahead and add that as well to this layout, and that just gave a pop of color, a little bit of contrast there, because everything else was pretty much just blue and a little hint of gray. So here I'm just using those pattern papers that I layered up behind my photo. I'm using both sides of those pattern papers and just adding some layers behind the photo, adhering it all to the background. So now I'm going to add in a little bit of silver, which would be the 4th item on my list, and I'm using those glitter silver alphas to add my title. And later on I do add a 3rd word to my title. Right now it just says my boy, and like I mentioned before, that is my grandson and myself in the photo, and I absolutely love that little guy. And here is, we're just taking a random photo of ourselves. I think he was getting ready to get on the bus one morning for school, and we decided to go ahead and take a photo. So here I'm arranging all of the hearts that I punched out, that I die cut before using the Lawn Fawn die, and I'm arranging those into clusters right next to those triangles that I added onto the page. Once I like where they are, I'll go ahead and adhere them using some liquid adhesive, and I also added some foam adhesive behind some of those hearts. That way they're lifted off the page and adding a little bit of dimension. So now we needed to also use some chipboard, and I grabbed some really old ones I have in my stash forever, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add those around my photo. And I was able to use, I believe, just 3 chipboard pieces from those packs. Next up, I will add some stickers as well. You can see I pulled out those cardstock sticker sheets from Cocoa Vanilla, and I'll be able to pull in a few word phrases from those sticker sheets as well as some other elements. So here I'm gonna layer some of my word phrases on some labels, add those to the background. Then I'll go ahead and add another word to my title. So there you can see me, I'm adding the word that's to the title, and I'm doing a mix of uppercase and lowercase alphas there. Once I'm done adding my title in, I will go ahead and add some washi strips. I felt I needed something else silver on my page, so I'm gonna add some silver washi to the top and bottom of the layout. Now I wanted to bring that orange in a bit more. I had planned on adding in some orange enamel dots, but I felt it needed something more than just those enamel dots. So I'm gonna add triangles of that orange pattern paper that I used behind my photo. I'm gonna add those to the triangles that I already added to the page. And I think that made a huge difference. I love how it turned out instead of just the orange in the center of the layout. And here's where I'll go ahead and add those enamel dots in around my photos, around my photo and my clusters. Right now, I'm just replacing the triangle on the left side of the layout with a larger triangle. I felt it needed something else there. It just did not feel balanced with the size of the cluster on the left compared to the ones on the bottom and on the right side. And now I'll add some splatters, and I'm using some white acrylic ink, and I love this ink for white splatters. I'm just gonna add some of those to my clusters. And of course, if you guys know me, you know I would want to mat this entire layout. And I always wait until I add my splatters or enamel or Nuvo drops, then to decide I want to mat it. So I'm being very careful. I went ahead and added it to that patterned cardstock, and I love what that did to this layout, adding that colored cardstock behind there. And here I'm just adding in two doodly borders using my white gel pen. And I love how this layout turned out. It's definitely different than my usual style, and I enjoyed doing it. So I hope you guys also enjoyed seeing the process, and I hope you go ahead and participate in the challenge. Be sure to tag us on Instagram, let us know where we can find your layout, and also check out everyone else participating today in my description box. So I want to thank you all for watching today, and until my next video, bye.